Alright, so in this one, I am going to teach you how to get God rank in PvP, how to even retain it, how to keep it, what you have to do, and the steps and procedures to get there. So, enjoy. I hope this helps genuinely. There's some advice that I could give off the bat that is just genuinely true, and you have to do this, and no matter what I say besides this and after this that's going to be helpful to you, you have to play the game. You have to play the game more than the average, 1 matches a day. You probably have to play like 10 to 15 matches a day, maybe even less than that to get God rank because it's top 1K. Maybe it's a little bit less. I personally don't know because I get a lot higher than that. That's not to flex, that's just to explain. You probably have to play at least 10 matches a day though to just get God rank. Just putting that out there, you have to play the game more than you would probably play the game prior to. And I know people want to get God rank, it is the Season 4 anniversary is coming up, and right now it is a season where you have double points, so getting God rank and hitting the godly title is something that people will be striving for. So I do want to touch on what you can do. Also getting CC prior to Golden, during this Golden Legends. Wait, what is it called again? What is it called again this season? Wait, I always forget what these are called. Wait, hold on. Wait, I have a brain fart because I've been playing so much. Golden Showdowns, yes. During these Golden Showdowns, people do want to get their CC prior to anniversary, so the way to do that is, well, watching this. So let me explain some things you'll need. One, you need a little bit of time. Probably 1 to 2 hours a day, play the game, that's it. Alright, you're chilling there, all done. Now, what you'd want. Now, I'll touch on some teams. I'll touch on teams I'm using, then I'll build up some teams for you guys right here, and the equipments. The equipments obviously matter, the teams obviously matter, but more focus on the explanation of these things, right? So here's the team I'm running right now. This is the best team I'm currently running that I think is working the best for me. I will say playstyles matter. So this team definitely relies on a more patient playstyle. I'm not saying passive because you do have to play both. You have to mix your playstyle, right? Passive and aggressive. If you mix it, people can't predict you. If I'm doing, I'm going for some crazy strike card at this random timing that's like, oh my god, wow, where I'm changing my side step time from like instantaneous to like I wait 5 seconds, you can't be predicted, right? You play unpredictable, you can't be predicted. That's how that works. But this team focuses more on the passive stuff because you have Hits, who gets his time skip at 140 timer counts there, actually 144 timer counts if you get no green card pre-pop. So what you're kind of going for in this whole setting, at least this team specific, and I'm going to explain these teams because I think it is very important to explain the teams and what they do and why they're built the way they are and why they are the way they are, is this team, you're getting that chip damage. What you're really going for, and obviously you can win without it, but majority of the time when I win a match, and as the current rank 1 here, and I am, by the way, thriving in this positioning here, and yes, I will keep flexing it until I do lose it, if not, if I get the title, right? This guy, by the way, is a DCer, but nonetheless, as the current rank 1 here, that do be me, what I'm doing as I'm playing all these matches here, which I'm playing a lot of matches, by the way, I stream these matches, so check out my live stream. Probably was already live and am live right now when this video goes up, so check that out if you want to see what I'm referring to when I do play these matches, right? But you play for chip damage here, so you have that time skip. That time skip's going to get a kill. If it's like red pan in, you won't even have to do the ultimate so you get the kill with the time skip. You just have to click some strikes, maybe get some blue cards, save a blue card for the time skip because the blue card will hit pretty hard. Even though time skip does debuff your damage inflicted by 50% to all your cards, obviously you can get around that if you do have the ultimate, but units that are very fragile, you can just kill straight out, right? Now I will say, you might not own this unit. Don't worry, I'm touching on other teams. I'm just referring to this team and discussing this team as it is my team I am running that is giving me the best results, right? You do have Kid Boo for the AoE green card, so you basically have 2 mechanics that are very simplistic. Time skip, it's not hard to do. You just wait, you look at the timer, you're like, okay, time skip time. You get 1 combo, bada bing, bada boom, you get a kill there. Whether it be somebody valuable or invaluable, it's a steamroll effect. You get any kill you want. Maybe you want to focus a kill more because you lost X unit or Y unit prior to, but nonetheless, you get a kill, you get a steamroll thing, you get your sub counts down if you do the ultimate, you get all 3 swaps back in, you got Vanish back, you literally have everything reset back to your neutral, and then you could even farm a rush from there. So, you time skip whenever you can, then you also have the AoE green card from Kid Boo, and that has cover null and activation of it. That means you don't have to worry about cover change. Everyone has cover change, Rose, UGB, Pan, Hit himself, everyone has cover change, right? All these top tier units. So you have Kid Boo, who has the situation where you don't have to actually worry about that. Also, let me change something real quick because I just realized that. I gotta leave that on. And you're not gonna hear the audio anyways, doesn't matter. But you have a situation We have the cover null. And again, what you're meant to be doing with this team is chip damage. You're just stalling and stalling. Let me make sure it's actually still going. It's still going. Great. You're just stalling and stalling and stalling until you get that time skip, you get a guaranteed kill, then you have a rush from there, get another kill on the rush, maybe you get guessed, oh well, woe is me. Also have Kid Buu doing very good damage, a lock-in blue card when his gauge is full. You just have very good overall situations to catch and more safe situations to catch than any other team. Zamasu obviously is here to provide that healing. Some okay tanking early game, definitely not a good, offensive-based unit. He definitely doesn't do any damage for me, but he is here to do that. And yes, you might be looking at this team being like, you're missing a Z ability on somebody. I am, and I will explain that I don't think it matters. DKP is giving Strike Attack to everybody because, hit leader slot, so it's going to be regen to everybody. Android 21 is giving HP to everybody. Again, hit leader slot gets it there. And then Red Rose is Zenkai buffing hit, but not Z buffing Kid Buu. I think because of Kid Buu's stars, that it kind of carries him through that, where it's not that important. And on top of, if I'm thinking about it, who's really my main damage dealer, right? I'm talking about the time skip a lot, I'm talking about chip damage, it's hit. I'm caring about hits build up his damage. Kid Buu is a defensive type, so him missing a little bit of strike attack here and some strike defense, while it will hurt him, I do not think it is stunting the team's usefulness, again, as it has been just the top tier team for me. Now equips, let's touch on this, right? I don't expect you guys to have the top tier equips. I don't expect you guys to even have any of these units. Maybe Zamasu, but any of these units, I don't expect it. Though, I will touch on the equipments. This is what you want to run. Actually, this equipment just got replaced by the new Awakened equipment that is for Majin Buu characters. It just came out, the new Awakened one. You can go check that out in the USTR shop. But nonetheless, your equipments, you don't need to Z plus them. You don't need to even Z them. You need to get the mess. Really, get the mess. The most important slots is what matters. So let's say here. Ideally, what I'd want is to have that first slot red, that second slot could be even green. I don't care. But that first slot red, because health restoration, Kid Buu, he heals per card drawn, the gauge when it's popped, the main ability, he heals a lot. So the important slots is where you want to peak out and get to the best potential you can get. And on top of that base health, clearly with the health restoration, they go in tandem with one another, you want to focus slots. So let's say here, this equipment, you probably don't have it, it's fine, you don't need it, it's very good on hit, but you don't need it, right? You can have other options, though he doesn't have many other options, neither does Kid Buu. You don't need it. This slot here, it doesn't matter. Would I maybe prefer these two to be better? Yeah, because they're getting the strike defense as well. But does it really matter that much? No. Like this here. This matters. The pure slot matters. Now let me touch on pures. It's a little bit of a concept understood, but never fully understood by a lot of players. So let me explain it to the extent I understand it. If I'm wrong to an extent, let me know, but I think I'm understanding enough to explain it well enough. So you have a base. Your base numbers. You're getting 35% Z ability there, 35, 40, Zenkai buff, 40, 40, 40, 35, 35. You're getting all these numbers, right? Your number caps, or rather starts diminishing at a percentage of about 200%. So let's say Hit's getting about 230% Z ability here. Just the ballpark, I'm throwing it out there. Hypothetical, right? And that factors in with the quips. So let's say this quip's here giving, again, he's getting, let's say 200%, 230% strike attack. Now I'm getting, okay, here's 45% more, so that's 275. I'm not really using that much, but it's still being active. It's just diminishing over time. So what you want to run, ideally, if Hit had it, he doesn't have it, unfortunately, on his team, two good enough pure equips, is you run a pure. The higher base you have, the more optimized your pure becomes. Essentially what that means. Again, once you hit that 200% kind of cap, that's soft into the game, you start having a situation where your pure gets more optimized. So me running a double pure here, let's say over even the Jiren plat, would actually be optimal. But the problem with that is Hit doesn't have the equipment for it. The best equipment Hit does have that's a pure is going to be this, and this doesn't work. I don't have Round Viewers characters. A 5% pure does not overtake a 45% base strike attack. Pures give the same percentages, but they're factored in a way that they get more value and bang for their buck after you have everything already on from the base. If that makes any sense, I know it could be convoluted, it sounds a little stupid, but that is how it works. Even the game kind of lies to you. You'll see here, I could replace this equipment right now, and it'll show my ability bonus. You saw how it went up there when I put this equipment here. This equipment's worse. But how the game factors it, they factor pures afterwards. So you have to bring them into the fight. So this pure here says, okay, when melee type is a battle member. Well, they can't factor your battle members prior to the fight, so they're going to show the ability bonus goes down. That third slot, that last roll is essentially useless. But this here, this is not pure, it's all base. So they're going to show you that's valuable. The game kind of lies to you in that sense. So my recommendation, let's say a team like this, again as a hypothetical, you want to run Piers. If you have a unit that's getting a very high base strike here, try to double Pier them. Let's say Kid Buu here. If I could run a second Pier, I would. Once again, there's not a situation where it'd be optimal for us just because the other Pier is only going to be a 10%, and I believe the damage numbers for the base to Piers is a 10% Pier is about an 18% base, a 15% Pier is like a 28% base, and then a 18% Pier is near a 40% base, or no, mid-30s, I believe. So you think of the numbers here, and what's going on. Let's say I was going to replace this equipment with that Pier for 10%. Well, I'm getting 35% base strike attack, so that's clearly higher than the numbers I just mentioned, right? You want to factor these in. I don't think you have to go all in this detail, as finite as I am, to really scale this to the extent that I am. But I do think having the knowledge of that is something that could be valuable to you. Now, let me show other teams, right? You probably don't own this team. You probably don't own double ultras. A lot of people don't own hit. That's fine. Let me just go somewhere random. Here's a team, 1v3 team. You can run that. Yeah, I'm not going to show it because it's a hit team. You don't really need to care about that. Let's just rebuild a team from scratch, right? A team that I think could work very well. It does work very well. It's very, very undervalued and underappreciated. Is androids. Now, might not own all of these units. I do think these units are the most accessible units in the game, though, if you are looking for a very, very good team. Though, if you don't own them, I will show one more team afterwards that could also be very accessible to players. So, androids. I'm just going to slap them on. Not going to really care about their positioning. You can obviously leader slot who you want, but let's just slap on the units that are going to be core, right? So, the units that you're running here would be the 3 up there, and then you would also have, let's see, where are the bench units here? Trying to find them. My brain is not working very fast. Gamma 1B bench, plus that strike defense. And honestly, you could do this situation where let's just hypothetical this real quick. Hold up. Let's slap you back on. Then we'll throw you on. Let's throw you down here actually, since you usually run the top 3, right? You can do whatever you want in this spot. Now, me personally, if I were running this, if I'm looking at this team, I'm leadering somebody. I'm not putting on GT17. GT17 obviously gets hurt because of Kid Buu. You might say Red 21 can cover him. It's very hard for Red 21 to cover him, while it is doable, and it's definitely a situation you can be in. Red 21's already trying to basically 1v3. LF17 is a unit that's hiding away. He's just running scared, but he is giving your support, he's giving your buffs, he is helping deal with hit if he is in the match. So GT17 is really not the guy you want to run. I would just leader slot Evo, VT, Buu Duo could work. I wouldn't recommend it, obviously, because Rosé, but you could do that. But the team here, obviously being androids. Red 21 is a free Zenkai. LS17 came out, people selling for him a lot because he was very, very good on release. GT17 is a very solid option as a 4th option here. Once again, you don't need this peak team in the game to be God rank. Truly, you could run a very bad team. You could run this team that's very appreciated and be God rank. You could run basic movies with Pan UGB Beast from months and months ago. You could run Pan Puddle Beast. You could run Pan Puddle UGB. You could run a 1v3 team and get God rank. I'm just showing you a team that has very good value, that you probably own at least some units in some capacity. If you want replacement options, they're very simple. Let's say you want to replace LS17 with Zamasu. All right, well, you could do that. It's not great. You're obviously going to devalue the team. I'm showing you the best setup you can run. If you need to work around that, then you have to work around that. That's not something I can control. That's not something you can control. At this point, you got to work around that, right? It's just the nature of PvP. Not everyone's going to have the greatest units and best units and all of the units in the game. I understand that. That's awesome. That's great. Well, it sucks, but, you know, I understand that, right? You also have to understand that as well. You're not going to have the units I'm showing in every capacity, though this was genuinely a free Zenkai. If you don't own her, I don't think you are, well, in the situation to obviously, you know, run her, right? Because you don't own her at Zenkai 7. Red 21 is a very good unit, stacks Cup Pen, does very good damage, but the team here of androids is a very good runnable team, and even more so than that, we could show one more team that you might even own more frequent than that team there, which would be Sun Family. Now, these units, honestly, I think this is very, very much more likely for you to own, which would consist of, oh yeah, I can't do that, whoops, which would consist of Beast, then it would consist of LF4Ku, and then the main unit on the leader slot would be Pan. Now, the bench, you're going to run probably GT Pan to Zenkai Buff Beast. You don't need really Zenkai Buff 4Ku, so you might run Dragonfish to that pure Arcane Inflicted. We already talked about pure stuff there. There's some Z-Blaze that give pure Arcane Inflicted, this unit here, giving that as well. Who who else gets pure arts? There'd be somebody else as a third here. You could... Actually, who would you? You could run... double HP if you want. You really don't need to, though. You could just do Namek Goku, to be honest. I mean, actually, no, you can't. You could just puddle it up, right? This guy here gets pure arts and inflicted Sun Family, but he's not Z-buffing UGB there. Not UGB, Jesus Christ, my brain. Beast. This team, very accessible. Pan was quite literally free from logins. I know people don't remember that, but she was. Beast, he's returned. Maybe not great, because it was on the New Year's banner, but he did return, to be fair, and everyone summoned for Beast. You know that, I know that. And Forku, my guy's old as shit. He's been on return banners. He's even on the Boo Duo banner right now. Like, these units are very accessible. The bench here, I mean, you don't need to run, you know, Dragfish particularly, but, like, the bench is very easy to build. If you want to build a bench that's obviously pandering toward Forku or Beast more, you can go for that. You can just run the Force here, honestly. Damn, I can't really find a bench that's, like, peak here, huh? Because I just clicked the wrong units. I'm trying to find the third bench unit just for you guys to have as, like, an opportunity, right? Let me think about it. 2 seconds here. What should you do? No. Guess that would work, double attack, right? Obviously not a great bench there. Revhon could work as well. Not great benches, honestly, but Goten could work, Topon could work. Okay bench units as that third. You might just double HP this, I'll be honest. Yeah, you might just double HP that. But nonetheless, this team, very accessible as well. Equip-wise for this team, I really want to touch on it here specifically. This team is very much begging for equips. Now, let me touch on this specifically. This equipment is the best generalized equipment in the entire game. That probably will never change for the next, like, year and a half. Now, you might ask why. We went over the pure, right? That this, 6% pure, 5% pure is at, like, 30%. This is an 8% pure. Now, you're not getting the full effect because you're not running full hybrids, right? You're running Saiyan there, obviously. You're getting 16% pure. So the peak of the 5% pure is, like, mid-30s. This is touching almost 40%. If you're running full hybrids, this is like mid-40s. You know how the Jiren Plat is getting 45% to strike attack? I'm pretty sure this pure, when you're running full hybrids, when it's peaked out like this on both slots, and this is really not a hard equipment to get, it's literally in the stage that's here forever. The Unawakened, then you awakened it. This equipment is getting over that Jiren Plat's strike attack that it's giving, and it's also giving that to blast attack. This is one of the best equipments in the game. If you're going to run a team like this, and this is a very good team, it's probably one of the most slept-on teams in the game right now, I highly endorse you get at least this equipment, 3 of them. 3 battle members are going to come into the fight. Maybe get 6, because you might just have hybrids, go bananas. They do that as Gohan and Ball Legends every single year at some point. Beast Gohan had that arc. But there'll be an opportunity there. Once again, though, the main premise of what I mean to say in all of this is you do have to play the game. I don't think you have to play the game to the highest extent to where I'm playing the game 8 hours a day, trying to get number 1, trying to retain number 1, all this shit. You ain't got to do all that. But you do have to play the game. You do have to learn timing. I don't think this game involves much skill, but you have to learn timing. It's just the nature of it. So if this person's going instantaneously, then they end up switching it up. I mean, honestly, what I could do here for you guys is just show you guys a replay. Then I'll commentate over it for you guys. Maybe give you an example of what this player should have done, what this guy should have done, and how it could have went better for the other players. So let's go on a replay where they're both running very good teams here, right? So let's see. Let's see. I try to find one that has very good teams, like 3v3 teams, not just like 1v3 carry teams, right? Not really seeing much. I mean, this is okay enough, right? Zamazu's kind of a throwaway unit. Pan's a throwaway, so it's like a 2v2 team. I call them 2v2 teams because those third units really aren't doing much. Zamazu and Pan really aren't doing much in this match, but we'll touch on this. We'll commentate this match. Iron King, by the way, Legends and Breakers creator, so follow him if you know him on Twitch and YouTube. Let me touch on this match. So we'll go through it slowly. Both playing passive. Okay, you got mid-range strike, got lucky on that. Congratulations. If you didn't have that green card there, you might want to drop combo, because from there, UGB could have cover changed in. You don't want to deal with that. Or just bite the bullet and let it happen. Charge step here, choose a blue card out. Yes, sir. Could charge a little bit longer, but that's fine. No need to nitpick. We continue through. You could pop the gauge here. Theoretically, you got it, going. So what I personally do here is I try to pop that gauge. It's going to happen. You're going to get through it. Unfortunately, he couldn't do it there. He got kind of caught up. Here, probably go to Zamasu. Reduce that key if you'd like to. If not, just let him tank it. Okay, that is very low HP on Zamasu. Holy shit. That's very low star Zamasu. Last card to reset the neutral. Very nice. Standing still, I mean, it could give you some timing. There you go, you pop that main ability there for the stop time event, and then to also catch him and get the heal, because that's Zamasu was fucking dying in the background. He has cover and all, doesn't need a sidestep, very smart, go to UGB, draw his blue card, or a strike. Very risky strike there. A play you could have done, let me point out real quick, he could have right there, it would have been very risky, very high risk, high reward play. He could have popped the main ability with UGB, drop combo, pop the main ability, hope for a sidestep, snipe out UGB, snipe out Pan. Someone comes in there, you get them sidestepping, boom, snipe out. It's a very risky play. I do it often, but is it something I recommend? No. Maybe early game there, you could do it because, you know, there's nothing bad happening. You're not kind of dead yet. They don't have a rush yet. They haven't done enough cards. Theoretically, at least. You never know what's going to happen with rush. But there's plays that could be very risky that you don't need to do, but you could do with high bang for your buck. Or there's plays that's like this, that's completely safe, completely fine, no issue with it, but it's just, you could have done a different play there, right? It's just to point out that there's other plays you can do. Full screen strike, did have blast armor, so I guess it was okay. He really is not dropping here. This is very risky to never drop. Beast Gohan does have overall cover change. I guess the, interesting. I mean, he had a swap there to be fair, but the situation to drop there is a little bit hairy, but because you don't care about Pan living, but it's interesting to not drop there at all, and this guy's not cover changing at all. He's playing very passive, the other player. Very good waiting on the other player. He has his Vanish back as well from that green card. He has neutral, though, got PV'd. I assume he drops here because, dude, no drops, yeah. I mean, that's just a mind game at that point. Really, it's just a mind game there. No drops. He probably should be dropping at that point, but I guess he's predicting since his opponent has never cover changed yet. He's just saying, screw it. He's not going to cover change. Why the hell would I drop? Drop combos are very crucial to the match and something you need to definitely get used to and get accustomed to getting done to you, if not doing to somebody. Then just clicking that strike there. I mean, a little bit risky because you could just strike back, but then you clash, right? No problem. Safety play here is to go for this. Yes, UGB. No, sack off Pan, probably would have died UGB there. And then afterwards, I feel like you should just play aggressive at this point. Remove their Vanish if you're in this 3v1 situation. Really no need to play passive at this rate. But if it works, it works. You have that Vanish out there, full screen strike. He's trying to wait. Maybe he catches him here? Caught him. Damn, that was a very long wait, though. And he's going to let him die. Eek. I don't think that was intentional, but let him die there. This match definitely got a lot closer, and he just stood there. Interesting. Not going to kill. Obviously, Zamasu is not him. Like I said, it's a 2v3 team on both ends here. Pop the gauge. He does need to pop that because that shit's just going to be tedious the entire match. Zamasu probably dies here, to be honest. It's a low star Zamasu. You do have to learn how to scale damage numbers, like theoretically here. My assumption was that he died. Though, he lived barely. That's a damage roll, by the way. There's damage rolls that, like, I think it's like a 10k to 50k gap that could happen. Just factor that. You just have to know that exists. Like, there's just nuanced things you probably don't know exist. Like, Rush does more damage the lower HP you have cumulatively on your team. So if you have, like, above 75%, you're going to do the least Rush damage that you could do. But if you have below 75%, then an increment of 50%, then an increment of 25%, you do more damage below those increments when your full team's HP is below those increments of health. There's things you don't probably know that Legends even shows you, but you learn, right? Right there was a damage roll that actually was a low roll, seemingly, that UGB didn't kill right there. Or maybe that support had run out from Pan, who knows? But from there, popping that gauge was smart. It's not maybe something you would have done there. Maybe you should have, done it earlier game with UGB in the beginning when you had the spot, but did get blast armored, so what are you going to do, right? You do have to pop that gauge. I think that's smart because the way he'll win this here is most likely because that gauge is popped. He can do these blasts and win the match from there. Is at least my assumption. Green card, stop time event. Does it catch? Taps. He went for safety. Maybe should have went a little aggressive there. Then he just got caught by tackle. Yeah, that's very unfortunate. Look, you'll see he's going to pop this blast most likely here. And then that is going to, exactly, it's going to give him that gauge because he drew a strike card. Then that ultimate will kill. Oh, that's exactly why you got to pop the gauge. People are very scared to pop UGB gauge, but you look right there. That is exactly what won the match. Zamasu is very low stars, not bulky at all. He predicted and understood that his opponent... Oh, he didn't win yet. Damn, that was a lot. Smart to just stand still. Honestly, sometimes you sidestep there because you're panicking. He had the blue card sealed, by the way, because of Rose, because he's in bleeding. Mr. UGB. Very nice wait there. And yeah, he just has to go. What are you going to do there? Literally nothing else you could do. What are you going to do? Tap? Why would you tap? Go for the card. They had no Vanish. Very nice. But a match like that, you see how there's so many things I could point out that's like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on? Oh my god, these stars are so ass. Holy shit. On Iron, obviously. Jesus Christ. The fact that he won, that's kind of crazy with those stars. But essentially, you have to understand the nuanced situations. The extent that I'm going is far beyond anything you would have to understand to get to even higher rank of PvP in the top 1,000. I don't think it's anywhere near the depth I'm going, but I do think having this understanding can help you get higher and higher. You don't want to just hit 1,000. Why do you want to hit 1,000? You want to hit 500, 300, 200, 100, top 50, top 10, top 10, top 10, top 20, top 5, top 1. Maybe you want to do there. And I feel like the in-depth explanation, like, oh, that could have happened, this could have happened, that could have happened, you could have done this, you could have done that. Because different play styles exist. Me personally, maybe if I know my opponent's hesitant on the cover changes, I might just go for drops, right? They're not swapping at all. They don't give a fuck to swap into the other unit. So maybe I could just predict, and then, like I said, that drop combo situation, if I knew my opponent was like this and they were just going to do a situation where, okay, they don't want to cover change, maybe they'll spam sidestep because I drop comboed, could have got snipe out, right? Could have made this match a lot easier. It's all matchup dependent. You just have to learn the timings, though it is difficult as you get higher up because people will change up their timing. Clearly, in a lower rank, people don't really care that much. They're going to do similar timings to the last timing. They might change it up a little bit, but it's like a 1 second change up. It's not that hard to react. But like a 5 second. You know, you saw here, Iron one time went very instantly. Then one time, he didn't sidestep at all. That's good. That's how you change it up. That's how you make an effort to mess with your opponent. And that's what won the match. Not going at all. Reset the match. Didn't have to really get caught. Even got some PVs because of it, because they expected X timing. It was Y timing. How PP works is a very roller coaster thing. It's a steamroll thing, but it's a roller coaster thing where it's an up and down, up and down. You just always are never guaranteed. You have to always adjust, and if you're not adjusting, you have to make them adjust to you. How I play, typically, for myself at least, and I'll have like a fast replay here of like my last match, I guess we could do. Very quickly. I think this match actually DC. No, this is viewer battles. Okay. I'll put this. I guess whatever. Let's put this match. I'll have this playing fast, but you'll see a different play style from me to Iron King. Right? He obviously went in a manner of a little bit more aggression in the sense of just random fucking full screen strike with my blast armor. Right? You can do that. The unit does prohibit you to do that, but you'll see here, I'm kind of waiting a little bit, kind of seeing what's going on, going for a clash. That's not the worst thing. Obviously, I lose it. So now I'm in a spot, it's like, uh-oh, gotta take damage. So you just kind of let everyone take hits. Don't let, your main unit die. Run Kid Buu here, so you're immune to the paralyzed. That's why I'm running him personally, because he's immune for 60 timer counts. Then here, you're kind of just, oh, I had an AoE green card. You can play aggressive. Works for me. He swaps out, so I just kind of, stay in, get some health back. He's healing per card used, maybe not the greatest spot, but it's just kind of stalling. No one's going to do any damage there. See him doing that quick dash. Obviously get that blue card off, or green card off rather, with Zamasu. Maybe use the heal a little bit early. Didn't need to, but you see me here, backing up, resetting the fight. Go up aggressive there, caught him out because I caught him sidestep spamming. And then from here, you'll see hit do pretty good damage. Not kill, I believe, but you'll see hit do very good damage to where I could just throw this ultimate. It's validated because look how much damage he did, right? Obviously, it could have been more, but it was validated. You see me playing aggressive here. You saw me playing passive before. You see how the timings keep changing up in my play style? Like that sidestep. Usually I went earlier. That time I changed it up. Now I get this free ultimate with Kid Buu. Got some ultimate damage stacking, all that stuff. Not going to kill Cell, but again, chip damage is chip damage. Again, what you want to do with this team is really, if you don't get the kills, with the ultimates of other units, you have this right here. Boom. Time skip. One dead. Now the game's a steamroll. Rose can easily do this. There's no downplay in that. But the game's a steamroll. One's down. Okay. 2 to go. It makes the game a lot easier. I get a rush out here maybe if I get lucky in 10 timer counts. I didn't go for it because I just rather play safe at that point. Go to Kid Buu. He's going to pop off. Try to pop the first life here. Kind of fumbled that. I was a little bit scared of Rose coming in because I didn't have cover null. And I didn't think I'd draw a blast card. But here, even right now, if I played aggressive there, and obviously over tapped is a negative for him here, I could have rushed. He had no swaps. 10 timer counts. That's how long it takes. But here, I have to play passive. Don't have to, but I just have the preference of playing passive there. He got caught by single taps, and then he forfeited because he knew Rose would die if he didn't guess me. Even more so, 1 health Rose, he's really not going to do anything, right? So you can see playstyle switch up. You saw my playstyle switch up there. I was going for the situation of, hey, Gotta get those catches, bro. You gotta get those catches and keep trying to force the AoE green, force X card, force Y card. In an overall sense, just to say, you gotta learn how to manipulate the situation to your benefit in the match. That's it. If you do that, you can get to here. That's genuinely it. Stars, obviously they help. I won't deny that. Stars probably carried me a lot of matches, and I will gracefully accept that, as well I spent the money for it, right? But you don't need to hit number 1, you don't need to hit number 2, you don't need to hit top 100. You're trying to go for God rank. Here's some helpful tips, some teams, some equipment, some explanation on equipment, some explanation on teams, some explanation on gameplay. I truly hope this does help. I truly hope this does give you some insight of how to hit these high ranks. I do think it is a thing that's not in-depth enough. Now, I don't feel like you have to go over techniques like charge step, side step. You just gotta learn how to, by playing. It is not me teaching you how to charge step, side step that's gonna help you win. You just gotta learn how to do timings. That's really it. You don't have to do any of that tech. Obviously it helps you, right? But you don't have to do any of that. Again, it'll help you, but you don't have to. It's just how it is. Hope this video is helpful, man. Really, because I think it could be. I think the depth I went in some cases was further than you probably even thought that even existed. And I think that's useful. Let me know what you guys think of this video of how to hit God rank in PvP. I'll see you guys in the next one.